In 2011, a major political controversy erupted in the United States when Donald Trump made a shocking statement that reverberated throughout political circles. Trump boldly claimed that Barack Obama was not born in the United States. He suggested that Obama was born in Kenya and that the birth certificate presented to the public was a forgery. This accusation went beyond mere speculation. It became a full-fledged campaign led by Trump, accusing Obama of concealing the truth about his origins. As the debate intensified, the White House was compelled to release the original birth certificate, confirming Obama's birth in Hawaii. But Trump didn't stop there. He continued to cast doubt, alleging that the document could still be fraudulent and that there was something the U.S. government was hiding from the public. Obama, however, didn't stay quiet in the face of this controversy. During the White House Correspondents' Dinner in April 2011, he seized the opportunity to address Trump in a surprising and humorous way. Amid laughter from the audience, Obama mocked Trump's claims, saying, "Finally, we can focus on more important issues, like whether the moon landing really happened." He then showed a satirical video of his birth certificate, highlighting the ridiculousness of the accusations. While everyone laughed, one person remained serious: Donald Trump. Sitting silently, with a stern expression and eyes fixed on Obama, it was clear that he had not taken the lightly. It seemed that this mockery might have been the catalyst that propelled Trump to return to the political stage, not as an outsider, but as the President of the United States, under the slogan, "Let's make America great again." The funny thing is that Trump's decision to enter the political world was based on that moment, and his political persona was built upon the character of the bear in the series Black Mirror, especially in political confrontations, interviews, and statements. You'll understand why shortly. Patience, dear viewer. When Donald Trump announced his candidacy for the U.S. presidency in 2015, no one took him seriously. He was met with mockery and ridicule as if it were just a passing joke. Even within the Republican Party, he wasn't seen as a real competitor. But the surprise was that Trump began to make remarkable progress. Not through traditional political methods, but with a shocking style based on direct attacks, public insults, and fiery statements, just like the bear character in Black Mirror. One debate after another and seminar after seminar, Trump managed to eliminate his rivals within the party until he became the official Republican nominee facing Hillary Clinton. What made his candidacy exceptional was that he had no political or governmental experience, unlike the traditional candidates who had spent years in Congress and run countless election campaigns. While these politicians devoted their lives to honing their political expertise, Trump was busy firing employees on his reality show The Apprentice and even shaving Vince McMahon's head in WWE. But the surprising thing was that Trump didn't need any of those political experiences to make it to the White House. All he really needed was an active Twitter account. When Donald Trump announced his candidacy for the U.S. presidency in 2015, no one took him seriously, as he was met with mockery and ridicule, as if it were just a passing joke. Even within the Republican Party, he wasn't seen as a real competitor. But the surprise was that Trump began to make remarkable progress, not through traditional political methods, but with a shocking style based on direct attacks, public insults, and fiery statements, just as if he were one of the characters from Black Mirror. Hillary Clinton focused on portraying Donald Trump as nothing more than a joke. Despite Trump's seemingly ridiculous persona, behind that image lies a truth everyone should know and understand. Trump has real popularity among American citizens. In every election he participated in, he garnered millions of votes. Even when he faced Joe Biden and lost in the 2020 election, he received 74 million votes, 47% of the total votes, which was the second highest percentage ever for a presidential candidate in history. This extraordinary popularity and real connection with millions of his loyal supporters show that Trump is not just a joke or a small historical mistake that can be corrected. He is a phenomenon that must be understood and dealt with seriously. He is not a clown, especially when one realizes that behind that image there are 74 million citizens. To get to know this clown's character, we need to start with his origins. Donald Trump was born in Brooklyn, New York, as the second son of a real estate mogul in the state and the grandson of German immigrant Friedrich Trump, who arrived in America in 1885. The grandfather came to America dreaming of quick wealth and was able to build his fortune through real estate, though some sources indicate his involvement in dubious activities. But these are just symptoms we won't delve into here. Trump grew up in an evangelical religious environment where his father taught him that winning divided people into two types, predators or victims, and no one is allowed to be a loser. This idea was embodied in Trump's aggressive behavior and bullying towards his schoolmates and even teachers, to the extent that his father sent him to a strict military boarding school designed to teach pampered rich kids discipline and strength, a school that resembled a prison. There, he learned that success isn't only achieved by bullying, but by becoming the leader of the bullies. He believed that if teachers saw him as weak, they would consider him prey. In this competitive masculine world, Trump stood out as an athlete and leader of a group of students, using bullying as a weapon to assert his strength in front of society, especially his father, and to prove his readiness to meet his family's expectations. It was believed that a successful businessman had a killer instinct, and as the saying goes, the rich get richer because the poor get poorer. However, the pressure from his father didn't always forge a strong character like Trump's. Sometimes it led to tragedy, as with his older brother Fred Jr., who failed to meet his father's standards for success and chose to escape his frustration with alcohol and drugs until he died at the age of 40. After graduating from the University of Pennsylvania, Trump began his journey to build his fortune with a little help from his father, who gave him $1 million to start his career. Although the amount was large, Trump was able to turn it into nearly $4.6 billion by the time the episode was filmed, demonstrating the power of his financial transformation. Here begins the journey of Donald Trump, the most prominent figure in his family lineage. He focused on Manhattan in New York during the 1970s, a period that was bleak, and Manhattan's condition was deteriorating. The city was burdened with millions of dollars in debt, forced to lay off 19,000 government employees, including thousands of police officers. The crime rate was reaching 3,000 murders a year, and many construction projects were halted, with 3,000 sanitation workers laid off, until New York was drowning in tons of waste. A desperate situation, but one that held business opportunities. High risks during tough times could translate into big rewards. At that time, Trump was a young, handsome man with an athletic body, and the New York Times described his appearance as resembling actor Robert Redford, which helped him easily make friends with the wealthy and powerful, connecting with influential people and celebrities. He also benefited from his father's connections with New York officials, where many powerful people worked with him, describing him as someone amazing who could charm anyone he spoke to, as if he possessed a magnetic power. Among the key relationships Trump built during his career was his connection with mob lawyer Roy Cohn, who helped him secure a tax break of $400 million over 40 years. This is when Trump started his first project, transforming the bankrupt, dilapidated Commodore Hotel into the luxurious Grand Hyatt Hotel, which had 1,400 rooms. He then went on to build Trump Tower. Though the execution was average, his strong sales sense helped him market the tower as something more than just a building by spreading the rumor that Queen Elizabeth wanted to leave Buckingham Palace to rent the 5th floor. Despite the absurdity of this rumor, it helped him sell a unit for millions of dollars, and Trump's image soon filled New York. But he needed a larger platform, so he ventured into the world of casinos, purchasing 3 of the most famous casinos, the most notable being Trump Taj Mahal. Up to this point, he appeared as a successful businessman, but what made Trump stand out from other businessmen was his decision to make his brand the brand itself, not just a business executor. In an interview with writer Tony Schwartz, Trump suggested writing a book called The Art of the Deal, saying, "I have gained a lot of experience as a businessman, and I've become a role model for the average American citizen. What do you think about writing a book about making deals?" Trump liked the idea and agreed to write it using a ghostwriter. The result was that the book became a huge success, transforming Trump from a real estate developer in New York. Although Trump is the master of the art of deals, he also made a series of losing deals that led to the bankruptcy of all his casinos, causing his wealth to drop to the point where he had to walk the streets. At one point, he pointed to someone with him and said, "This man is richer than me. At least his wealth is $0, while I owe over $900 million. He had bank debts close to $1 billion, which mathematically made him poorer than any beggar on the streets." However, Trump continued to deny this and used the media, which turned him into an icon, becoming the most hated figure in America, especially after betraying his wife Ivana. When someone approached him to offer advice, Trump followed the same procedures to save his reputation from the chaos caused by the media, particularly television. He turned to television as an expert in his field, and a new journey for Donald began in the world of media. In 2004, the show The Apprentice launched, running for 8 seasons, generating enormous profits and reigniting his brand. Gabriel concluded that without The Apprentice, Trump would never have become president, and that he was almost the first American president to reach this position due to his media fame. He was not just a businessman and TV star, but became a symbol of anti-heroes. Thus, Trump transforms from a mocking figure to a political and social phenomenon that cannot be ignored, exploiting media and television popularity to convey a message that challenges the traditional political current and redefines national identity and electoral culture in America. Trump's rhetoric witnesses a fundamental shift in his economic and social policies from the traditional Republican approach. While the party usually promotes free trade and facilitates exchanges without high tariffs, Trump took the opposite stance by raising tariffs on Chinese cars, reflecting his shift towards protecting the national economy. On immigration, although the Republican Party has long included it in its agenda without resorting to strict racial accusations, Trump's rhetoric included statements where he described Muslims as extremists and Latinos as criminals, and he rejected the idea of closing borders with a wall, considering that America should be the leading global power, but with the principle of America first. Trump's rhetoric was not limited to economic and social issues only, but also included a shift in national identity. He introduced the idea that America is a nation based on white Protestant supremacy, an idea that had been latent in the collective consciousness but rarely expressed in the past. In this context, he benefited from the support of religious conservatives, even though he personally is not considered religious by strict standards, and his personal life full of twists. From multiple marriages and extramarital affairs to sexual harassment allegations provoked widespread criticism. Trump emerges as a symbol of true popular protest, as he managed to garner millions of votes in every election he participated in. Even in the 2020 election, he gathered 74 million votes, 47% of the votes, which is the second highest percentage historically. Although the Democratic Party focused its rhetoric on minorities and identity, making some less educated voters feel that their leaders did not represent them, Trump's support grew among large segments of the working class and lower-income voters, who did not realize that his policies would eventually lead to higher prices and high inflation rates. On the other hand, Trump gained a bad reputation due to his controversial record of lying. Sources indicated that he lied daily in the media and on Twitter, and used lies and quick retorts to distract people from real political issues and shift the discussion to side topics. In short, Trump's rise was not just a passing phenomenon. He was a businessman who exploited the gap between what the people were thinking and what the political elites expressed, emerging as a voice for what voters, especially in less educated areas that aren't seen in Hollywood or Wall Street, were feeling. The ball is now in your court, dear viewer. Do you consider Trump just a temporary phenomenon or the beginning of a new era in American politics? Share your thoughts in the comments, and peace be upon you.